everyone in this room at some point or another has been asked this question, and I'm not sure how you all feel by being asked this question, but personally, when people direct that question my way, I really dislike it. It makes me very uncomfortable. And I always hesitate for a slight moment before answering the question. A moment that could be filled with so many words that are fighting with each other to tumble out of my mouth in a fury of self-actualization, because underneath the layers of complexity and the seemingly infinite options, or the lack thereof, I know what I want to do with my life. I want to love. Simply love. I mean, at some level, isn't this what we all want? Aren't we all searching for someone to share our lives with, someone to validate our existence, share our joys, our victories, and our struggles with? We're all swimming in a sea of people, trying to reach out and touch one another, be part of something that's greater than ourselves. I want to love. In loving, I love myself. In loving, I find myself. In loving, I free myself. There's a whole universe of potential and so many people to love and so many ways to love. And I want to love in every possible way. I want to connect beyond words. I want to embrace you with a full heart. I want to give thanks for the blessing that is you. I want to fall in love, make love, live with love, grow with love, evolve in love. And let's not get caught up in the politics of defining what love is. Let's just recognize that the thing that I'm talking about, caring, passion, compassion, whatever you want to call it, whatever name you choose to give it, it has meaning, it has purpose, it does good. But there's a lot of folks out there who don't understand that. They ask me the question as though I'm not living right now, as though my life will mysteriously somehow only start in the future. Vishai, what do you want to do with your life? And friends, don't be fooled by the simplicity of this question. This question has a context. The context being that it's somehow unacceptable to simply be, to simply live. We must be moving towards tangible goals, towards quantifiable outcomes. I mean, there's got to be an expensive SUV in your future after all. And every time I'm asked the question, I'm reminded that I live in a capitalist paradigm, a surface culture that dictates that the only valuable use for my skills and for my talents is to trade them for money and for power. I'm part of a generation of youth taught to think business, do business, be competitive, consume, and this has been shoved down my throat my whole life. This materialism, dating back to imperialism. They say that slavery is over, but how can it be over when some nations have advantages over others based on a history of violence and domination? They say that slavery is over, but how can it be over when there are processes and structures that are still set in place by rich white men? Decisions that are made on your behalf and on my behalf, behind closed doors, without accountability, without transparency. Choices that are being made without you or I knowing that we are living and breathing the consequences. This is a global age and we're all connected. But not by our love for one another as children of this world, not by a mutual understanding that we share space and resources, not by humility, human dignity, but by this thing we call technology. Facebook, cell phones, the internet, you know it. And we seem to be building this virtual reality without really seeing the faces of those we claim to know. And a thought that hounds me is, what if this global age serves to divide us more than bring us together? What if human connectivity via technology brings more war? And it seems to me that we don't need more shit like cell phones and pages and digital cameras. What we need more of is respect, compassion, love, because underneath the surface it's true, we are all the same. My heart beats just as yours does, it aches and yearns just as yours does, and it has just as much power and potential to love as any other beating, yearning, hurting, happy, hopeful, joyful, tired, lonely heart in this room. And that's the cool thing about love. It sees through racial barriers, it cuts right through the bullshit, it makes way for what's real, for human connection. Too often we try and organize our lives guided by principles of logic and rationality, but I think that despite popular belief, love is the voice of reason too, telling us that feeling is just as important as thought. And there is harmony in choosing to love. I choose to love no matter how many times I get tired of the games we play with each other's hearts. I choose to love no matter how many times they tell me that love is nothing but an abstract idea. I choose love because love is the only language I know that can be understood through the nuances of race, class, and gender. It is the food of the soul, and when we provide love, we are sharing of ourselves with others. We are being the food that nurtures and nourishes life and growth in ourselves, in others, and all around us. So I'm standing here before you in the flesh, coming from a different context, a different culture, with different conceptions of what the good life is, and all I really have to offer is my love. Love flowing through these words, and love because each and every one of you are all equal opportunities to be future loves, past loves, present loves, and to bring forth love into this space, and into your communities, and into the lives of so many, simply by loving in whatever way you know how best to do just that. And so as long as I know what I got to do with my life. I'm going to keep doing it and encourage you all to keep on spreading the love. Thank you.